Car Advice is in Germany with Michelin as part of its Driving the Next tour. Eventually we'll be at the Formula E, but on the way it'd be silly not to stop off somewhere like the Porsche Museum. Now, Martin Radi, and I'm sorry if I haven't pronounced that correctly.
Yeah, it's okay.
has been a Porsche employee for 2 decades and he's been showing us around today. There's no question we've asked he hasn't been able to answer yet. So Martin, how about we go and check out some of the most significant cars on show here?
Yeah.
The perfect place to start is the place Porsche started, the very first 356 Roadster. Now, this looks like a beautiful, speedy Porsche with its gorgeous curved lines there, but it shares a lot with the Volkswagen Beetle. It's also a little bit different to the Porsches we're used to because where the 911 has the engine in the back, Martin, this one doesn't.
Yeah, this is the only 356 ever built, the number 1 with a mid-engine. All other 356 types with a rear engine, so I'm talking about finally 78,356 types, but this is the only one with a mid-engine. So Ferry took the engine and the transmission and made a turn 180 degrees, the transmission in the back and the engine in the middle.
This was originally sold to a Swiss buyer. The first 5 were sold to a Swiss buyer.
Exactly.
But Porsche bought it back from them, is that right?
Yeah. 10 years later, the owner came to the service and said, hey, I have some damage on my car, it's possible to repair. And we said, yes. But when we saw there is a mid-engine, the mechanic said, we have to take a look at the chassis number. And the chassis number is 356,001. And we made a special offer to the owner. We said, listen, you let this car in Zuffenhausen and you will get a 356 Speedster new. And he said yes. So back in our hands since 1958, a very good deal.
It looks fantastic in person. It's just absolutely gorgeous. To my right here is the second car in our little collection, and it's the first Porsche 911. A really interesting story we heard on this tour is about why the ignition key is on the left-hand side. And the common theory is that for motorsport, at the start of Le Mans, drivers would run, put their right hand on the gear stick and start the car with the left. But Martin, that's not true.
No. It was the old version, I want to tell you the truth. So yeah, here in Germany we have the steering wheel on the left and we also have the ignition key on the left. In Australia, steering wheel on the right, ignition key on the right. But the reason is another one. So we are very popular here in Germany. We are thrifty to afford, but not stingy. That's very important. Yeah. So yeah, to save money, we are big experts. And listen, so the ignition key is on the left and the relay is in this position. So the cable, made of copper, this is expensive, was shorter than to the right. If I do a tour, I always say, welcome to Schwabeländle in our region. Yeah.
So the ignition key on the left-hand side, not for motorsport, purely so Porsche could use less wiring. I had no idea. At the moment, the Porsche Museum is highlighting the 917, one of the best known and most successful race cars, essentially of all time.
This was exactly in the condition as the car was presented in 1969 at the fair in Genova in Switzerland. And you can see here the long tail and an engine, V12 naturally aspirated engine with 600 horsepower. And here the first type also had a movable rear spoiler.
Was this banned by the motorsports rule makers? They stopped the movable spoiler?
They had to stop after a time because of some accidents in the Formula 1, and after all spoilers had to be fixed.
I can't imagine what it would have been like to sit in that cockpit right on top of the fuel tank with the engine just behind your head and very little in the way of safety. It's a stunning, stunning race car, but scary as well. Still on the 917, this is the 91710. It was the first turbocharged example of it, and you can see from this cutaway here what it was like being a race driver back when this car was dominant. These are fuel tanks either side of the cabin, and the driver's feet are less than a metre from the front of the car. This car would have been doing 350 kilometres an hour, something like that.
More, 380 was possible.
And the driver has very little in the way of safety. Now, can you tell us a little bit about the turbos on the back there? Because this is a groundbreaker for Porsche.
Yeah, it's the first time with a turbocharged engine, with a V12 turbocharged engine. So we also had at the same time, with the tests of the turbochargers, also a concept car with 16-cylinder naturally aspirated, but the turbo was more efficient, better and faster. That's important. And we have 2 turbochargers, one on the left, one on the right, and 1,200 horsepower. Yeah, I would say it's a rocket.
Of all the cars we've seen at the museum today, this Carrera GT is the one that I want to drive home in. It's just absolutely stunning. Of all the interesting things about it, and it is a full carbon body, carbon tub car, it's a 6-speed manual with a naturally aspirated V10, which you actually worked on.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a feature hidden in the door, like on most Skodas. I'll let Martin explain.
Yeah. Let me show you. So this was the first car in a series production with a monocoque, the body made of carbon fiber, and also the seats. So these are the lightest seats ever, 10 kilograms approximately, and we built 1,270 cars. The engines were assembled in Zuffenhausen.
And
I was part of it.
You were part of that
yeah,
project.
That was a great time between 2003 and 2006. And yeah, we talk about a mid-engine V10, 612 horsepower. So you accelerate from 0 to 200 in less than 10 seconds. It's a fantastic car. And here in the middle, it's also written Carrera GT. It's the first one, so the first Carrera GT. And we had a special feature for our customers in Germany to bring the cash to Switzerland. So we integrated a cash box, but that's a joke. It's for the umbrella.
This is the smuggler's special.
Yeah.
Now, this is just 5 of the cars on show at the Porsche Museum. There is so much incredible stuff here. I could have spent all day. If you're ever in Stuttgart, make sure you get here to check it out. Martin, thank you so much for showing us around.
You're welcome, you're welcome.